What's up, guys? How we doing? How are we doing? Yes, sir. We're going to do a stream on a Sunday. That's what we're about. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take it up a notch. Next level. Who we got on this morning? Who's on? So we got Live Your Life. We got Roma. We got Ains is in the house. What's up, guys? How we doing? Oh, how are we doing? Yes, sir. We're going to do a stream on a Sunday. That's what we're about. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take it up a notch. So I just hit myself there. That's kind of trippy. Happy Sunday. Come on, exactly that. Come on, England. 100. I heard that they're going to get Mainu starting, which is going to be good to see. But congrats to Jamal. Congrats to Axe on Germany yesterday. Well done. Yeah, so I'm going to try and keep this short today. Obviously, because I, like myself and a number of you, you're probably going to want to get out to the pub or whatever to go and watch the football. So myself, I'm included in that group. So I'm just going to keep this kind of short, stay sweet, to the point. If you have any questions at the end, just let me know and we'll run through them. And if you stick to the end, I'm going to give away this document for free and I'll show you how to do that. All right. But I just want to start off by what this document does. So what this document is about, it's about tracking the money. And like I've always found, when I had no money, the years when I had no money, I always found that I always used to keep myself as far detached from, the numbers as possible, right? You'd bury, the old saying, just burying your head in the sand type approach. And over the course of my life, I found that the closer I get to the numbers and the closer I get to the money, the more it flows in my direction. And so throughout my trading career, I've always focused on the money, right? And the way that I trade is predominantly focused on the money and risk, right? I'm always focused about how I can minimize my risk to the lowest possible amount and then maximize risk to reward. Now, when it comes to tracking money, it's no different. I'm very, very analytical in the way that I treat the numbers and the money, okay? And we all know that there's other different types of journaling that you can do, right? Everyone's seen all those various different, trade journals that you can approach, like this, for example, where, you add in your trade, you add in what you're trading, whether it's long, the date, the month, all this jazz, whether it was a win or a lose, the P&L or the gain. That's a trade journal, okay, which is great. And I can show you later how you can link these into this document if you so please. But this document here is more focused towards tracking the actual money. Now, yes, there are other systems you could deploy this. You could use TraderView, you could use TradeZilla or whatever, but I find those overcomplicated. And I also find that I've used them numerous times, always trying to find a better system. And I always found that there's just so many different layers. It becomes convoluted and you actually become detached from what's important, and that's pounds and pence, right? And I always find if you do things manually, it becomes more personal to you. And so the more personal you can make your attachment to your trading and your... That's just my view. All right. So this document is what I use and what I've created to track money in trades. Now, you can use this document for personal funds, but what we have set up here is it for proprietary firms. So you could literally just duplicate this document if you have multiple personal accounts, but this is for this one, which we're going to go through today, is purely for funded accounts, okay, and a valuation account. So it tracks both evaluation accounts and funded accounts, okay. And so the benefits of this document is, it helps build consistency because, if you have rules in your trading, so for example, mine are when I hit my daily goal, I stop trading. One of my rules is as soon as I input the figures for my day into this sheet, I can't trade any longer. Mainly because I start fucking up this document, right? But more importantly, it's almost like my buck stop. I have a buck stop in trading. It's my buck stop in trading. When I input a number in here, I'm done trading. And so it helps with discipline and it helps consistency. It also helps you analyze where you're going wrong in your trading. So for example, if you have these massive spiky red days, it will show you clear as day, right? where you're going wrong, okay? And it can help you keep on top of and in the back of your mind always what you're trying to do, and that's maintain consistency and keep your losses to a minimum. So it only helps with consistency, it helps with discipline, but it also helps with your accounting as well. So you can utilize this document for your accountant if you so please. All right, you can use this to send off to your accountants if you wish. You can then add in that journal which I showed you. If you track your trades, you could just add in the link at the bottom, send it all off to your accountant, and they can do the rest. It's pretty much what I do. And it can also help you when to take payouts, okay? And I'll show you how to do that as well. It tracks your payouts. It also tracks your account balances per individual account, and we'll go through that as well. And what else we got? That's pretty much it, okay? So that's just an overview of what this document does and what it aims to achieve, okay? But what we're going to talk about is this specific document, which is going to be for funded accounts now and evaluation accounts, specifically for Top Step. So I've tweaked this entire document for Top Step, okay? Because I've recently switched to Top Step. So this is designed for Top Step traders, okay? So if you trade with a different firm, you might need to tweak these numbers in the evaluation accounts, okay? But this is purely designed for Top Step fundeds and evals, all right? So we're going to start by just doing a little orientation of what this document has. So this document is a quarter of the year, okay? So you'll see you can change these months to whatever months. I've just switched these today's for this presentation for June, July, August, September. So you could just block these in quarters. And what you would do is you would duplicate this entire document 4 times, and that would give you your year, okay? And you just run it in a quarter. So if you start on in June, so for example, you go into July, August, September, all within inside this document, okay? At the top, and you can obviously switch between them, right? On this bottom tab. At the top, we have funded accounts. Okay, so this is all your funded accounts. And then below that is your evaluations. And this tracks per week. So this would be 1 week, all right? And then below that, you have week 2, which is your funded accounts, evaluation accounts. Below that, you have week 3, your funded accounts, evaluation accounts, and then that would be and then week 4 funded evaluation, and that would wrap up your month. Okay, so you can utilize these per month every time you take your trades, right? So what's next? Just have a little look on this, just make sure I'm covering everything for you. So up here is how much you're funded. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm giving you all the detail, guys, if you're watching this. So up here, we'll tell you how much you're funded. So if you're 100K funded, so if you've got 2 accounts, it would be 100K, obviously. If you're only 50K funded, you'd put 50. If you're 250K funded, you put 250K in here, not 25, 250K, right? And this is important to change and keep up to date each week or month because it affects your net gain, okay? So this document not only tracks your daily portfolio balance, it tracks it by the week, it tracks your account running totals, it tracks your payouts, and it tracks your final week balance post payout. Okay, then it's going to give you a net portfolio gain, and then each week, depending if you make gains or losses, it's going to give you a net percentage change on the previous week. So in order to keep up to date with that, you have to change this. So if you gain an account, you need to add 50K, right? And this is based on 50K accounts, by the way. So it's Top Step 50K accounts. So if you lose an account, you need to go down 50K. If you go up an account, you need to add 50K. Okay, so just for the argument's sake of this presentation, we're just going to keep it 100,000. So we're just going to use these 2 demo funded accounts that we have here, right? So every single day, the way that I approach it is if you have a funded account, and this is 5 funded accounts because the maximum amount of funded accounts you can have with Top Step's 5, right? you just put in your total for that day, right? So if you make 500 on that day on your Express 76, you'd put 500 in here, okay? And then that's going to give you your daily portfolio balance across your entire portfolio, okay? If you went ahead and then traded 26, so for example, say you copy traded, you would now have $1,000 portfolio balance on Monday, okay? Now say on Tuesday, you decided that you wanted to trade your Express 3 account and you made $1,000 on that account, right? And on this account, this day, you did it again. So you can see at the bottom how it tracks your daily portfolio, okay? And then at the week, it will give you your running weekly total. So I don't know what your daily goals are, but this is how I track mine. So you can tweak them in your head however you do it, but it enables me every single day to see where I sit within in terms of my weekly goals and my daily goals. All right, so say for example, on this day, we actually lost 500. You could put in minus 500 and you'd see how it would adjust your weekly balances across your portfolio. And it also adjusts your running total on that PA, okay? So you can see that we've added up. On this week, we have now made 2,500, and these are our individual days, okay? And just for clarity at this point, the only numbers you change in this document are the fields where they are highlighted in light green. If you change any of the other fields, you're gonna mess with the formula, all right? And I'm not gonna help anybody with adjusting formulas if you fuck it up, right? You're just gonna have to start again, okay? So only change the fields which are light green, okay? I've said it. So put this back to 500. So you can see on this day, 2.5. 2.5 is our running total. Okay, so obviously in this week, we're not going to take any payouts here, okay? So this is our finalized week balance for these accounts on week 1 with our funded accounts, okay? And we have made a net gain on our portfolio of 2.5%. Boom! What a week. Bosh. Yeet. Right? Amazing week. Okay? So then you go into week 2. And what happens in week 2 is it pulls this information into week 2. So you don't need to do it all again. It's all formulated, so it's all there for you. Okay? So if you go down into here, so in week 2, on Monday, on this account, we made 200. So you can now see that we have pulled in the running total for account 76, which closed at 500 last week, and it's pulled into week 2. So now we've got 200 on Monday plus our previous week close at 500, giving us a $700 running total on our 76 account, right? So on Tuesday, let's say we made 1,500, we made 2,000 on this day, 1,500 on this day. It's 15,000x. All right, on this day, I don't know, 1,250. Okay, you can see same principles, adds in our totals, adds in our running total. Okay, so this is the gains on this current week accumulated on the previous weeks. Okay, so this is our running totals across our account. So now you can see here we have our finalized week balance post payout, which is sat here. So, and you can see we are at 9%, just short of net gain on our portfolio, right? And we're going to go into evaluations in a bit. We're just going to focus on the fundeds for now. And this is a just short of 6.5% gain on the previous week. Okay, another awesome week, right? So what you might want to do at this point in time is consider taking a payout, right? Right. So we could look at account 3. We've obviously hit our required goals that are needed in order to fulfill a payout. Okay, so say for example, we decided we wanted to take 2,000 out. Okay, so 2,000 out of this account has taken it down now to a finalized week balance of 2.5K on that account. Okay, so that goes in here. Say in here we wanted to take 750 out to take this down to 1,000. Okay, so we've now taken out just over 2.5K, right? What I like to do is when I take money out is I always like to take percentage change on the previous week because it always means that my portfolio is growing. Okay, so It's really important that. So you can see we've moved from 2.5% in week 1 net gain on the portfolio to 6.2% net gain on the portfolio. So it's given me a percentage change on the previous week that I can take some of that, and my portfolio is always growing. Okay, and I never like to put that into a negative. So say you had an absolute, and this is just hypothetical, but say you had a monster week and you decided to take chunks out, right? You're now on a negative percent change on the previous week, which for me is you're going backwards in your portfolio, and you always want slight progressive increase in your portfolio growth. So for me, I'm always looking to try and keep a positive change on the week prior, right? And God forbid if there is ever a week where you are net negative before you take money out, right? So if we just move these back down to 0, say we had a horrendous day, right? If your net change is below on the previous week, then obviously you can't take a payout that week. So it's again you getting closer to the money, you getting closer to your finances to enable you to keep a consistent equity curve, right? It's really important that, okay? And it keeps you in focus. Okay, and this literally stays through, right? It stays through all of your trading. Okay, so for example, we could now decide if we wanted to take another $500 out here, we could, right? And so on and so forth. And you just replicate the same thing. So every single week, you keep a track. And the way I do it is once it's in here, I stop trading on that account. It's done. It's dead, right? I cannot trade any longer on that account on that day, right? And it will add it all up. When you have a positive percent change, that's when you're in the realms for taking money out. You never want to take your percentage change on the previous week into a negative, okay? Just a general rule of thumb. Okay, so what then happens is down here, right at the low, and you do this for all 4 weeks, okay? So every week in the month, it will add it all up for you. And down here, obviously this is the start of the quarter, okay? So when you start this document, obviously your starting balance is 0, but every week it's gonna pull in the new week's balance, right? Closing balance after payouts. So that's week 3, week 4, closing balance. Okay, so this is your closing balance for the month. Total payouts, 500. Net gain in your portfolio is just short of 4%. Bosh, what a month, right? So then we go into the following month, July. And it's just a case of continuing, because what this document will do is it will pull the information in from June into July. Beautiful, right? So the same principles apply. It's going to pull in all of your finalized week balances, your account running totals, and you're just going to continue the process into week 1 of, month 2, right? And the same process applies, right? So whatever your balances are as you go through your trading week, right? Okay, so again, same principle on this week. In week 1, 10% gain. This might be a time where I'd want to consider crystallizing some profits. Okay. So you get the gist of how this works. All right. And this just runs through August and September. All right. So that's how the funded accounts works. Okay. It's a very, very clear, easy, straightforward way. Now, below that we have evaluations. So if you're running evaluations, we can do exactly the same thing here. All right. So if you have however many evaluations you have, it's currently set up for 5. Okay. So again, you can change these, by the way, if you want to change your name, the express name, you just come up here, you click edit, you come to these validation rules, these data inputs, and you just change these numbers. Okay. And then you just click apply for all, and then every single time you go down, you just have a drop down, right? So if we go to this evaluation, we can see that evaluation 99, we can start utilizing this account, right? So say, for example, we make 200. Now, the way that this works with evaluations is it's targeted towards the profit goal that you need to pass your evaluation. So what happens is this is keyed to 3,000, which is your profit goal with top step in order to pass your evaluation. So in short, as soon as this turns negative, you have passed your evaluation with Topstep. If it gets to 5,000 without making any gains prior, you would have blown that account. Okay, so if we made 1,000 on Tuesday, this comes down to 1,800. If we made 1,500 on Wednesday, this would take this down to 300. If we made 350 on the Thursday, boom. So that would pass an evaluation. You would have passed eval 99. Okay, but the opposite is true. Is if you did the opposite. Okay, so if you lost 1,500. Lost 500, right, you'd be at 5,000. You would have blown the account. So this is how this tracks, and the same principles and rules apply with here. How it's just going to track your daily gains. It's going to track your overall weekly gain or loss across your portfolio, and it's also going to give you your closing balance across that portfolio, and it's going to pull it into the following week. All right, and then it's going to pull in those remaining profit goals as well. All right, so week 1 we close with a past evaluation and a blown evaluation, and then in this one we can go on Monday we made 2,000. On Tuesday we made 1,000, so we again have passed our evaluation on this account. All right, and that literally is how it works through each single tab. Okay, now what's important is if you blow an evaluation, you need to go back through the entire document for that number and just delete the cell. Okay, so if you were running evaluation 99 and you blew it in, I don't know, week 2 or whatever, you just go back and you'd zero these all out. Okay, so you turn these all back to 0, you would change the number name, okay, and then you just restart that evaluation. Okay, so that's in a nutshell how it works. Is there anything else to talk about? That's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. So is there any questions that you guys have that you might want to ask about it? Any questions before I let you know how you can grab yourself a copy? It's very, very straightforward. Honestly, it's a very, very straightforward document. But just remember, you're only going to change the cells in green. Okay? These green cells, that's all you're ever going to change. You change anything else, you're going to mess it all up. Okay, so on the right-hand side, I've put in some notes. Okay, so to let you know how to use it. So duplicate the document 4 times so you have 4 quarters and place in a folder. Okay, that's essentially what I do. Only change cells which are light green, which are these cells. Okay, so your payouts and your inputs for your day. To get accurate percent gain, change the cell under top set accounts to your current funded value, as we mentioned. So every time you either gain or lose an account, you need to change this by 50K. And it would change inside of the week where you gain that or lose that account. Okay. If the balance turns negative in the blue cells, you have passed your evaluation in the account. If you go above 5K, you have blown the account if you've made no gains prior. If you blow an evaluation account, you need to turn all cells in the document that an evaluation back to 0 before starting again, as we just talked about. To change the name of evaluation express account, as I mentioned, just come to this drop down, click this little pen icon, and you can update it. If you blow a fund account, return all cells across the whole document to 0 for that account and adopt the current funded value. Okay, so the same principles of valuations. Equally, if you don't want to do that, you just need to duplicate the document, let your accountant know that document is blown. The one way you can do it, if you've got a funded account and you've not taken any money out of it, just write it off as a loss. Let your accountant know that that account never materialized gains. To change the name of the evaluation, Yeah, so when you start a new quarter, so if you've got this document and this is like quarter one, all you do is come to the end of your quarter, and then you just pull this information into the new document at the high. So you'd pull in your starting balance up here for your first month of your new quarter, which would be the closing balance of this quarter, right? So you just pull that into your new quarter's starting balance. All right. I can't see the other tabs you mentioned. You have 2 tabs for this. Remind me what's the difference, please. I'm not. Okay, sorry, you can't see that. So let me just see if I can pull this up. So just down on this low. So you got June, July, August, September. So it's essentially a quarter. Okay, just at the bottom. So these are your tabs, right? And it just pulls across into the next month. Right, so that's what I mean by those tabs on the lows there. Any other questions? But for me, it's just focusing on what matters, right? You know, they're the metrics that matter to me. Everything else for me is just a little bit of fluff. Any questions, guys? Or should we wrap up there and go and watch the Fozzer? Okay, so if you guys want to grab yourself a copy of this, it's very, very simple. I'll put a link in the show notes which will say grab your copy of this document. If you just fill out the quick form, and then where it says how can I help you in the future, if you just put level up, I'll know that you've watched this stream to the end, and then by the end of close of play today, the document will be sent out to you. All right. Exactly how you've seen it here. All right. So if you have any questions, guys, as always, feel free to reach out. You can just drop them in the comments and let me know. Or if you're inside Red Pill, obviously just hit me up. All right. But that's it. That's the little document that I use to track my finances when I trade. Okay. One little thing I did say I'd talk to you about is if you wanted to, if you guys journal as well. All right. So if you journal your trades. Okay, so as we spoke about here, you got your pair, your direction, your date, all the sort of minutiae that you might be tracking. You can, for January, what you can do is if you're sending this to your accountant, you know, you can just come up here and you can just go copy link to view, and then you just take that link if you guys use Notion, and then just add it at the end of your month. Okay, and then just let your accountant know. But it's entirely up to you how you do that. All right, so that's going to be it, guys. Enjoy the football or whatever it is that you're up to today. And for Red Pillars, I will catch you on. I'll catch you on Monday. I'll catch you tomorrow. All right, so take it easy. But I hope you find value with it. Hope it dials in your trading and elevates your trading to the next level. All right, so I'll catch you all very, very soon.